So today we're going to discuss one of my favorite mitzvahs, and this is years ago I was giving a shir. Maybe it was in my Breslov years. So I was giving a shir about mitzvah gedolios b'simcha tamid, and that's an oldie. It's a song that we used to sing. It's almost not heard anymore. But what's interesting, the irony was that the song mitzvah gedolios b'simcha, I'm sure you know this very well. So that was sang by everyone, whether you're Litvish, Hasidish, it doesn't matter. And I think very few knew that that's a statement straight from the Likutei Moharan, from the Nachman from Breslov. So I remember when I was giving shir on this, and my wife said, "Well, what's the source?" I said, so I looked throughout the Likutei Moharan, and finally I found it at the end. It's all at the end, mitzvah gedolios b'simcha tamid. But then the question was, my wife said, "Okay, so where did he get it from?" So the Rambam already tells us in Hilchos Lulav that avodas Hashem has to be done b'simcha, and that's based on a pasuk. Tachas asher lavatet Hashem lakecha b'simcha b'tuv levav merov kol. That pasuk already seems to tell us not only that it's incumbent upon us to serve Hashem b'simcha, but chas v'shalom, all the calamities and history, the churban that we were commemorating yesterday and reliving, and every churban is because we're not serving Hashem b'simcha, which is an incredible challenge, of course. Then years later, Benji, I think you're the first one that showed me this. The Chasam Sofer says that this was, and it's on the bottom it says that this was a drasha that he said by his son Rav Shimon Sofer's bar mitzvah. An amazing, to me, is one of my favorite drashas. You don't usually hear this as a bar mitzvah drasha. But this is what the Chasam Sofer writes. He writes that the first mitzvah, the oraisa, that a person should teach his son, that his son has at the time that he becomes bar mitzvah, is a mitzvah of simcha. Amazing Chasam Sofer. And I think we all appreciate, yesterday was such a heavy day. I started off with being part of Msader Aget, then I had the Chman Litzana Levaya. Baruch Hashem, it ended off with a bar mitzvah and a chasana. But it was such a heavy day, and that's what happened in Eretz Yisrael. And then and I was thinking to myself, even by the Levaya, what is the person, a person can't say anything. It's very difficult to speak. Such a tragedy, someone loses a child. And then I was thinking, the Zohar HaKadosh in this week's Parsha says that Yaakov Avinu, we speak about the Avos, we speak about Emunah, we speak about Bitachon. It says that Yaakov Avinu was crying every single day. It's normal. He was crying every single day for Yosef. And it says that in this week's Parsha, when it starts with Vayechi Yaakov, Be'eretz Mitzrayim Shavayis Shana, so Vayechi Yaakov suddenly was alive again, because he finally re-met with Yosef. But the Zohar says such chizuk. It says that the Zohar says that not only that now the Rebbeinu Shem gave him a tam of Gan Eden. There's very, very fascinating descriptions. But the Zohar says that Yaakov now, it was removed from him all the pain retroactively. That means that in this world, we understand that the pain right now is not something that we have to cry. We do cry. And the bitachon is, even if a person has an incredible emunah, it's difficult to say we're greater than Yaakov. We cry. And an Aval cries the first 3 days. But the Rebbeinu Shalom, one of the gifts the Rebbeinu Shalom is going to give us, and this is something that's part of our emunah, is that he's going to remove that pain retroactively. As if we never experienced it at all. Not just as if. We're never going to experience that pain at all. That's why it also makes sense. There's an incredible Noida B'Yudah in Maseches Pesachim that says, in all the tragedies that we said, Boch Dan Emes, we're going to make, it says that when Mashiach comes, we're going to make Hatoy V'Ameti, we're not going to say Dan Emes anymore. So the Noida B'Yudah already writes, he says, what do you mean? Then there's not going to be any tragedies. So he explains what it means is that we're going to be able to say Hatoy V'Ameti even on the past occurrences that we said Dan Emes, we're going to say now a new bracha Hatoy V'Ameti. So it gave me a little bit of chizuk. And this morning, everyone in America is very known that Monday morning it's actually based on Chazal too. Monday morning, it's like one of those sad days. It's hard to get out of bed. And I think that I was thinking of the Chasam Sofer that says that the first mitzvah is the mitzvah of simcha. Why is that the first mitzvah? Because the biggest challenge, and the Baal Dovel, the Yetzer Hara, the Satan, whatever you want to call him, his biggest trick is that right when you start, he's going to start with one thing. He's going to take away your simcha. What happens? A person wakes up. They have all these plans. They're going to get up early. They get up. The first challenge of Moed Ani is, am I going to give up my simcha today? And I go through this every single morning. I have all these plans, whatever it is, and I would get up in the morning. And the first challenge you see is, am I going to get up with a smile or not? Moedani fanecha has to come with a simcha, with a state of mind, the simcha. And I always say the Rabbi Daniel, I try every single day. I say, the one thing you're not going to take away is my simcha. And that's why Bar Mitzvah boy, the first thing is, he turns 13, the Yisrael shows that, okay, the first thing I'm going to take away from you is a simcha. That's what you got to watch out from that. So we should have as much chizuk as we all need, and we should be zeichet to b'seiras toivos and tremendous joy.